Hello and welcome again to the channel for another 4K review, in this case the Steelbook release of Nosferatu. Hello again and thanks for tuning in. My name is Juan. As I was saying, today we're going to review this 4K Steelbook release of Nosferatu. And just as a reminder, know that I will post photos of the release on Instagram, which has the same handle, Physical Media EU. There you can find photos of this release and also previous reviews. With that said, and in case you don't know the movie, Nosferatu is the fourth feature film by director Robert Eggers and has become one of the horror movies icon of the recent times. The other movies I have reviewed in the past. Let's go in order, right? The first of them, The Witch, you can see here, released by Second Sight Film. This is a very nice release. Check out the links on the description for reviews. Also, The Lighthouse, in this case, released by Arrow Video. There's also a very nice release by A24. And lastly, The Northman. This is a release from year 2024 in slipcover presentation, which I prefer over steelbooks. But in the case of Nosferatu, there's no other premium release, let's say, at the moment. With that said, let's begin by taking a look at this steelbook. So here's the cover. I apologize for the light reflection, so I keep the steelbook on an angle, so it doesn't bother that much. Here is the back. In both cases, the printing quality is very nice. I think the picture on the back looks actually a little sharper than the one on the front. You can see there and there. And now if we open both together, you can see them. Now if we flip this around, here you have both discs. The one here on the front is the 4K, here is the Blu-ray, and here is the inside of the steelbook. Now it's also worth mentioning that this release came with this J card that I removed by now, but here on the back you can see in detail the contents of the disc, bonus features, and so on. The synopsis is split into 4 different languages because this one is a Nordic release, so the languages included are Norwegian, Finnish, Danish, and Swedish. And if you want to see this one more in detail, check on Instagram, I'll post it there. Now moving on to the contents of the disc. The movie is presented in 2 versions, the theatrical one and the extended one. The extended, I got very happy when I heard that there was a longer version, but it's only 4 minutes longer than the regular one, so not a lot of big difference there. There are also some deleted scenes in the bonus features. Now regarding the 4K disc, it has Dolby Vision and Dolby Atmos, and an interesting thing to mention about the movie, not just the 4K disc, is the aspect ratio, something that I didn't realize when I saw the movie on the cinema back then, but I realized when I watched it now at home and I had to Google what the aspect ratio was, is 166:1 versus the normal 190:1 ratio. So how does this look on your TV? Well, there are black bars on the sides. It's not at the top, at the bottom, but on the sides. They are not very wide, but you can easily see them on the TV. This obviously is a stylistic choice by Robert Eggers. I'm not entirely sure where it comes from. I read something that is inspired on some paintings and so on, but I couldn't get to the bottom of it. Now, difference to mention between the 4K disc and the Blu-ray is that the 4K disc includes many other languages and subtitles versus the Blu-ray, which only includes the Nordic languages and English in this case because this is a Nordic release. And regarding the picture quality, I think the movie looks great. And as I said, it's a movie that I watched in the theater first, and I think it translates very good to the disc. It's important to note that the movie, first of all, is a very dark movie. Like, a lot of it happens like in very, very dim lights, especially in the 4K disc. Those parts look very well on the TV, and there are no artifacts, right, in the shades. That's something that most likely will happen if you stream this movie. So definitely for home video, the physical disc is the best option. But besides that, there were some parts at the beginning of the movie where I kind of wished that the image would have been a little sharper, but then as the movie went on, I think I realized that those scenes were designed to be like that. Because, like, for example, just like in Mulholland Drive, for example, there are some parts that you're sure if it's an hallucination or what. So those things have been carefully considered by the director here. Regarding the audio track, specifically the Dolby Atmos one, and I especially love the parts of Lord Orlok talking. I think his voice sounds so well with the Dolby Atmos. It was a very nice experience. Now moving on to the bonus features of the disc. They are the same on both the Blu-ray and the 4K disc, and that's always nice because the 4K is region free. If you happen to buy this in another part of the world, you don't have to rely on the region of the Blu-ray, which in this case is region B locked. And there are 3 bonus features in this case. The first of them is the deleted scenes, which something very interesting they did here is that they added a little bit of the previous scene that goes before the deleted one to give a little bit of context on where that scene goes. So that was very useful, I thought. Then there's a series of making of videos of Nosferatu. I think it's something called like a modern masterpiece, and include things like makeup and custom design, which is of course very interesting. And similarly to what they did for the Northman, they put a lot of time into researching how to do things accurately. And the last bonus feature is the audio commentary, which I took the time to watch the movie again with the comments on, in this case, by the director Robert Eggers, something that I have done for his previous movies. And it's always interesting, something even that he mentions, I think when the credits are rolling at the end of the movie, that he didn't go to film school, so he has learned a lot from the Blu-rays and the bonus features and the audio commentaries. So he tries to include the things that he would have liked to hear when he was like learning about film by watching these movies. Lastly, an interesting thing to mention is that the first 2 movies of Robert Eggers, The Witch and The Lighthouse, both were released by A24, but The Northman, this one, and the upcoming Werewolf are all released by Focus Features, which is part of Universal. And here in the back of the Steelbook, you can see here the Focus Features logo and also the Universal down here. And a good thing about this is that Focus Features, which has a website with all the franchises they run, made a lot of merch for Nosferatu. So there's a lot of clothes there, hats, glasses, and even some bizarre stuff like a 1-to-1 size coffin and stuff like that, which if you like the movie, it's great to have access to those kind of things. And they, by the way, have international shipping. Also, if you like Nosferatu, I have reviewed the vinyl in the past. You can also find the link on the description. And now, yes, the last thing is, as I mentioned at the beginning, this is the only premium released at the moment. This movie was released on DVD, Blu-ray, and also standard 4K disc, but this was the only fancy release you could get. I say that this is at the moment because there's an upcoming French release. You can see the image on the corner. I will do my best to get that release because, as maybe you have heard from other videos of mine, I prefer the full sleeve covers versus the steelbooks. So if I get my hands on that one, definitely there will be a review on the channel. Now, yes, that's it for the review. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to check out on Instagram for detailed photos of the release. Same handle as the channel, Physical Media EU. You're welcome to subscribe to the channel as well if you're interested in physical media and like this kind of videos. Also other physical media related stuff, including soundtracks and vinyl reviews. And I would love to hear in the comments if you have watched this movie and if you're looking forward to add this one to your collection. Thank you so much for watching and see you all at Okie Dogs.